let's go get Onyx Storm. Oh my god, there is a line. Of course there is. Oh my god. Okay, actually it's not awful. Actually, it's not awful. Oh my god. It's here. I got it. It's gorgeous. It's a little like weird bend, but it was literally a dog fight to get it. Can't believe I got it though. Oh my god, hang on, I'm just having yes, it's it. It has the full page photos. Okay, back. Sorry, had to respond to a text message. Anyway, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to go get the Target special edition. And as I'm like scrolling on Instagram and TikTok, like everyone is talking about how it's going to be crazy, and if you like, and how, you know, you couldn't pre-order this Target special edition. So you had to either wake up at the crack of dawn and be there as soon as it opens, but that's not a guarantee. And then everyone was saying that the pre-orders are opening anywhere from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So people were literally setting alarms to get the pre-order it, schedule it for like pickup, like to then pick it up before the store opens or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is going to work for me. I'm literally just gonna set my alarm, wake up, and just drive to Target. So that's what I did. My Target, the closest Target opens near me opens at 8 a.m. So I start driving at 7:30. Like I'm like, I get there at like 7:40, and as I'm pulling in, as you saw, there is a line. It wasn't a crazy line though, but there definitely was a line, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know how this is going to go. So basically stood in line for like 20 minutes. It's like 9 degrees outside. And yeah, and then I'm also like asking the other girls like next to me, I'm like, are we going to like stay in an orderly fashioned line, or are we all going to run? And as soon as those doors opened, guess what happened? Everyone ran. And I was like, oh my god. I'm running with everyone to the back, kind of speed walking, because the girls who were in front of me, who were in line in front of me, were just kind of speed walking, and I felt bad running in front of them because they got there before me. So basically we all get there. He's like, it's in the back by electronics. They have the huge like display. It's like literally a madhouse. So I'm going and I grab one and I'm like, okay, I have a book. And like they were making us check out and pay at the electronics counter. And so I'm standing in line to pay, and then I look down and I'm like doing like, I am like flipping through to see the like the images, like the full page little thing, full page images, and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, wait a second. Oh my god, this isn't the special edition. It's just the normal one with like the little dragons on the edge. And I was like, are you kidding me? I freaking didn't get it. And so I kind of like stood out of line, looked at it. It was like all picked over. There were no special editions. And I'm like, oh my god, great. Literally stood in line for nothing. Unfortunately, this was definitely the case for a lot of people online, and everyone I'm seeing, that same thing happened to them, and they just couldn't get it. Even though they were in line while it was open, they're just, Target didn't have enough stock. Luckily, for some weird reason, my Target had a ton of this in stock. And so when I got to the checkout counter, like the lady behind it, I looked behind her and they have a huge cart and it's just filled with these special editions. And so I saw the girl in front of me be like, oh, can I get a special edition one? She actually bought like the regular edition and the special edition one. And so I was like, oh my god, can I switch out the one I bought? So I got up there and I was like, oh, can I actually have the Target exclusive edition? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. And so she's like, do you want both? I'm like, no, just this one. So she switched it out for me. So I think I was one of the rare ones. I think I was one of the rare ones who actually, their Target was relatively organized. It was a mad dash to get into it, but they had plenty, like for everyone who was basically in line with us, I think everyone got a special edition. I cannot say if someone showed up an hour later if they would be able to get a special edition. They had a lot in stock, but like I think you could get like 2 per person. I think it was 1 edition per, like you could get 2, but it could only be like 1 special edition, 1 regular. So it's definitely I got lucky with how my Target had enough stock. Operation was well. They kind of knew what to expect. Like they had a feeling, you know, people would be showing up to get this book. So I am so glad I got one. I've never really done that before. I've never showed up to get a book. The only time I kind of preemptively tried getting one the day of was Cousin City 3. I did a pickup for that at Target because it was again the situation where it was like I knew I wasn't be able to run to a Barnes or local bookstore that day. I was a nearer Target, so I just did pickup. And I think I literally got one of the last ones of that too at that Target. But I don't know, these are a rare commodity because I know there was like a huge craziness when Fourth Wing came out, and it was like forever till the bookstores could restock those, and that's why it took me a while to actually get my hands on a Fourth Wing. I know I could have read the Kindle. I'm just such a physical book girly. Especially with fantasy books, I like to read hard copy. Romance, mystery, anything of that other nature, I'm okay reading on a Kindle, but fantasy for some reason, I'm just like romantic. I'm like, give me a hardback. So that was my Target story. Then I was like, I need to share with you my experience of that because that was so interesting. And if you do go on my Instagram, I made a little reel about it as to, I made a little reel that is kind of showing a very small snippet of that because I was like filming horizontal and it was just like, just super awkward times. So that was my story. So basically super excited. I'm not gonna have any spoilers in this vlog as I read through it, just kind of the vibes, more vibe checks I feel like as we go through it. If I do feel like I want to talk about something that is happening in the book, I will definitely preface beforehand. I'll put, a little spoiler on the screen. So if you haven't read the series yet or you haven't read this 3rd book yet, I will let you know with ample warning if I want to talk about it, but I feel like I usually do a pretty good job of like not really saying much, but I have no idea what's in store for this book. Like absolutely no idea. I'm going in pretty blind. I am trying to not get spoiled for myself, anything. Some people have already like said how they felt the ending, and I'm like, that's even a spoiler. I don't want them to know how to feel at the ending. I want to make that own judgment for myself. So that is the plan. Hopefully get to more reading today. I have a little bit more to do at work and just kind of some miscellaneous house stuff. Might go to the gym later. I've also am always on fence of bringing a book to the gym because I'm definitely trying to just walk a little bit more because during the cold winter months I don't walk my dog longer lengths that I could get kind of that walking in. I have my walking pad here with my desk that I try and do. So at the gyms I've just kind of been moving my walking as more on an incline and for a longer duration, and I'm just kind of I could be listening to an audiobook, but I sometimes don't. I'm not always in the mood for an audiobook, so I'm like, do I just bring in my book? Or kind of should I maybe download also on Kindle to read it? I don't know what to do, but we'll see. But that's the first reading update that I wanted to provide, and hopefully come along for the journey of this. We'll see where this book takes us, and let me take these Target stickers off as well because those have to go. Hey, coming in real quick. Also, there's these 2 hats up here. Jacob keeps putting them up there and I just feel like they look awkward, so going to move them. But I got a super exciting package I'm gonna have to share because I am so excited about this. So basically, this is, like I said, this is the year that I am starting my deep dive into true hardcore fantasy, and what better place to start than Mr. Brandon Sanderson. However, I do the only book I have of him, the only book I have of his is The Way of Kings, and I started and stopped it. I've only gotten like 100 to maybe 200 pages into it. I've never really continued on, and I've just kind of done a little bit more of a deep dive into like how to start his books, and I feel like I have kind of come to the conclusion that I am going to start with Mistborn and kind of go through there and then start The Way of Kings. However, though, I do love the floppiness of the American versions. However, I'm obsessed with the white and just the white UK versions. So I've been on my mission to find them. It's been a little bit hard, but I have found the first 3. So this just arrived yesterday. I'm so freaking excited. I can get it out of the packaging, which I can't. Got it. Okay, we'll throw that down there. Oh my god, here it is. Here she is, the Mistborn trilogy. These are the first 3 books, and it is the white UK editions. I'm so freaking excited about these. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, let me quickly take this wrapping off, and then we'll get into the books. Okay, plastic thing removed. Here they are. So excited. Starting with Mistborn. Now, will you watch me attempt to get this out? I always feel like this with box sets. They can never, once you take them out, you can never put them back in. But here it is. Here is Mistborn. I have just, like, I remember watching, I think, Reagan's channel from, like, Prue's Project. She had this cover, and she'd be talking about them, and it always, like, was like, I just love this cover. Something about this cover just has always called to me. Also, you can kind of see Winnie in the background. It's just, something has always called to me about it. So I was like, okay, whenever I am getting ready to actually start reading this whole entire series, I want to try and get the UK covers. Hopefully I can try and get the other, I think there's 3 others after this. Hopefully we'll see what happens if I can get my hands on those. That will be a future me problem, because I have to read these 3 chunkers of a book first. But oh my god, I'm so excited to read these. It's kind of like the mass paperback kind of text inside of it, but that's okay because these outside covers make up for it. I just don't know, the whimsiness of these are just so nice. Like, I don't know what to say. It's the Well of Ascension. They just keep getting chunkier and chunkier. And then the Hero of Ages. Oh my god, I'm so excited to finally have these in my possession. I don't know. Also, do any of you guys like keep these ever? I'm always like on a toss-up if like I should keep them or not, or just put them on my shelves, or put them on my shelves like this. I mean, I think for the most part I get rid of them, but I'm so excited to read Mistborn. I just don't even know. I don't even know what to do. The Cosmere world, Brandon Sanderson, his entire world is just so vast and so big, and so it's very intimidating to actually like get going and start. But what better time than now, than 2025, where for the next couple years here in America, reading is going to be my escape. It's going to be a tough couple times. It's literally January 22nd. It's been a wild ride here already. Not great, gotta say. So I've always said, like, just kind of escape when I can, just to kind of, you know, take a little breather and go to different worlds. It's a completely different political system and a whole bunch of shit, but you know, when it's not yours to directly impacted, it's been much better. So, I'm so excited to read, but I was like, oh my god, I have to wait to open the package and gotta do it to show all of you guys. Oh man, so exciting. However, will not be able to start reading this yet because the task at hand is going to be Onyx Storm. We will check in a little bit later about that. I am currently working, so I have to take that, but I had to take like a little break, just admire these books. So we'll touch back with an Onyx Storm update because I gotta do this. I'm in this like group chat on Instagram, and like so many of the girls have already finished it, and I'm like, it came out yesterday, and does no one have a full-time job and like other things? I don't know. I just wasn't in much of a reading mood yesterday, even though I literally spent so much time to go get that book, but it's okay. I digress. Anyway, hopefully I'll do some reading later. Check back in. But anyway, so excited, so excited. So, just did a little bit more reading. I definitely read a decent amount last night. I'm like 100 pages in, literally starting from 0. I just read like one more chapter. I just read a little bit more. As you saw, walking on my walking pad while I was in this meeting that, yeah. While walking on the walking pad a little bit, and I just kind of wanted to do a little check-in, 100-page check-in. I think it's going pretty good. Definitely a lot. It's very action-packed, I feel like, for the first 100 pages, which I think is very helpful getting back into this world and getting back into a book. I feel like, especially a series, you don't really want it to be a slow start because it's like you're getting back into it. And I didn't really do like full rereads of Fourth Wing or Iron Flame because I was like, I don't have the time and I don't want to do it. I'm just like, I feel like I would be like sick of it to then get into this book. So that's why I was like, it's fine. I just watched a ton of recap videos on TikTok, Instagram, wherever I could, just to kind of get the gist of it. So I definitely though feel like I am forgetting a lot of things in the way of characters and just the world. I think it's such a intricate world, as well as like there's a bunch of different, like there's a whole continent and there's a bunch of different like provinces, I think. Yeah, and like they all have rulers, and so there's a lot of names already at the beginning of this, and then obviously like there's a bunch of dragon names and character names. So it is a lot getting back into it and just kind of understanding who's who again and what's going on, as well as the magic system as well in this world is kind of complicated in a way, but I'm finding myself getting back into the groove of it after these 100 pages. So far so good. I mean, I'm just kind of excited to read this book, and just I haven't really had time yet to just sit down with this uninterrupted and read, which is really what I need to do. So I'm hoping, today's Thursday, that, you know, tomorrow's Friday and into the weekend, I definitely will have time to just sit down and read it, because so many people have already finished this book, which is crazy. So I hope to be one of them soon. And yeah, also side note about the Target special edition with the illustrations in here, I definitely am not upset. Well, I am upset, but I don't think it's like original artwork that they did for this Target edition, and like part of me feels like it's AI made it. I could be very wrong. I'm not quite sure if that's the case, but it definitely feels like that's the case. I will show the first illustration. If you don't want to see it, look away. Putting it on here. Spoiler for the image. If you don't want to see it, I'm just going to show one. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. So obviously, like, you know, I don't know. Like, that's supposed to be Violet. Like, really? obviously it's like a big photo of I call him Taran. I know it's not the proper way to say his name, but it's just how I'm saying it in my head reading it. But I'm just kind of like, okay, this isn't giving the vibes that I wanted it to give. So I'm a little upset about that. So I don't think you really need to go crazy about this Target edition. I mean, it was an experience. I'm glad I got it, but I think you're fine just with the normal edition. I do really like this. I think that is really nice, but I think you're okay. I think this is a little bit maybe of a money grab for Target and the publishing and author, possibly, but we're the book world. We're obsessed with special editions. I feel like sprayed edges and things like this are becoming way more popular with new releases now. I feel like almost every single book that maybe is fantasy or is going to appeal to a certain amount of audience comes out with sprayed edges as their first book. It isn't even a special edition of it. A lot of books are just having sprayed edges now as just the regular edition. So that's like the trend that I'm definitely seeing. So it's an interesting time. I love sprayed edges. I kind of like had always the feeling that sprayed edges were just kind of like exclusive, you know, special edition stuff like that, and I think they still are, but they're definitely becoming more mainstream now. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of years with publishing books. But anyway, just a little reading update for you guys. Doing this Thursday. Still have to work for most of the day today, taking a little bit of break. Got lunch delivered because it's Thursday and sometimes you gotta treat yourself on a Thursday. And because we haven't gone grocery shopping. And we need to. But anyway, so those are the plans for this week. For these next couple days. Finish Onyx Storm and just kind of like have a chill fun weekend and kind of regroup and get back into the swing of things. How's everyone's January's going? You know, I think it's okay to like take January kind of slow and just kind of figure out what you want for the rest of the year. That's how I've been looking at it, to not feel pressured and rushed at all. So that would be good. But anyway, that's my reading update. Check back in when I've read more. Hey everyone, it's Friday. Just have been sitting here reading this book a little bit more. I think I read like 30 more pages just sitting down here. It's good. I feel like I'm reading this really slowly. Like I feel like I'm gaining no traction on this, but I feel like I'm just trying to take my time to like understand like what's going on, because I feel like it is so hard to kind of understand what's going on in this world, just because like there's so many people, first of all, to like kind of keep track of, and you're also keeping track of people's names as well as dragon names, and there's also different like entities. Morning, there's Jacob. So we are on our way to IKEA to get a really nice, like one of those like filing cabinets or kind of like drawer system that I need for the office. It's happening. We're doing it. So freaking pumped. Also, it freaking snowed so much last night. We were not expecting this. So definitely an adventure this morning, but it's fine. We got our coffee, we got a smoothie. Good times, good little adventure driving down. It takes about like 25 to 30 minutes to get to this IKEA, so it's a little bit of an adventure. Maybe we'll have some meatballs for lunch. Pretty exciting. But thought I'd take you guys along for this little IKEA journey, and then I said that I would attempt to build it. Since he's built like basically everything in our house right now, I'm like, let me try this. I'm gonna try this. So I'll probably be needing his help, but for now we're gonna see how that goes. So that's our exciting Saturday morning adventure, just having a chill weekend, especially since it's now covered in snow, and that changes some plans. So, but that's okay. Literally perfect weather for reading. I've made it to page 230, I think, in Onyx Storm. I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm also like trying to not make myself feel bad for not reading a lot of it, you know, like not reading it fast and not, I'm just like, let me just enjoy the story, and I'm actually enjoying it. I feel like this is actually maybe my favorite one so far. I think it is, but we'll see what happens. I'm kind of freaking out about the end because I feel like I've seen a lot of mixed emotions and feelings about it, so we'll see how it ends. But I'll check back in with a reading update later, and let's go to IKEA. Okay, it's Monday. This is kind of a chaotic reading vlog type thing. This is not a reading update. This is a shelving unit update, plus a little shopping haul that I want to show you guys. She's thrilled about this segment. Anyway, this was a bitch to put together. I always forget. I'm like, yeah, this is perfect and exactly what I need. But I also am like, yeah, and it's at IKEA. And I'm like, it's fine. Yeah, it wasn't. Definitely took me a really long time. It was like the Chiefs game versus the Bills last night. Just took me the entire Chiefs game, plus a break for dinner, and then maybe 30 minutes after that to put it all together. But it's just because of the shelving units. But this is exactly what I needed. It's not staying here, by the way. Exactly what I needed to get organized, and it's just perfect. So we'll match my white bookshelves, all good stuff. But then also just kind of a shopping weekend, getting stuff, just kind of a chill weekend. I also went shopping to Ulta and Sierra as well, and I also got my Glossier order in, so I thought I'd just like share all those what I got with y'all. Okay, so we'll start with non-makeup related things. There's another thing too. I got like one of those heatless curls things. However, I did just chop all my hair off, so I might wait a little bit to see if that works or not. But I got these, which are knockoff Uggs of the Talisman Ugg boots. I've been wanting those shoes for such a long time. They're probably like out of style now, but these were only 20 bucks. So I was like, yeah, I'll get a pair. They could be my like indoor house shoes or just like walking money. I also got some sports bras. That's about it. From Sierra, that all you need to know of. Then we went to Ulta next. I kind of just wanted to get a random assortment of things, so that's what I did. This stuff, this Derma E brand. I am someone who has definitely struggled with acne her entire life. I was the person who had to go onto Accutane when I was in freshman year of college, and it helped clear up my cystic acne. But like, I still suffer with like, you know, the occasional hormonal acne, and I have a lot of acne scars as well from that awful period of my life. But I thought this brand is really good and really gentle. Like, I really love their vitamin C serum. So I saw this kind of thing because they're kind of expensive. They're like in the $20 for like one product. So if you want to buy like the whole line, it's definitely like a lot. But I saw this, you know, kit, and it has like a scrub and a face oil as well that I wanted to try. So it's just kind of like 3-step. I have this. I use this every day. The vitamin C concentrated serum. Very good. So I saw this little kit, and I'm like, maybe you could try out these new products. And this came with a $25% off coupon inside that I could use for a full size at any Ulta. So I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Anyway, what else did I get? I got a beauty blender, an eyelash curler because I needed one, some less exciting things. she's so excited I'm doing this. I also got this NYX, however it is, this kind of, what is it? It's called the Wonder Stick. Anyway, one side is contouring. Why can't I think of any words? Is like contour bronzer, and the other side is a highlighter. Definitely use the bronzer like all around. I love how it is. She's looking. Hey, let's stop licking. Let's stop licking. Good girl. So that's that. I also got another Touchland one because I ran out of my other one. I got Berry Bliss. I need to probably get another one to put in my car. This one might be my purse one, and then a car one as well. And then the last two exciting products, I got my Sol de Janeiro perfume because I love this perfume with all my heart. This is number 40. Love this flavor scent. Anyway, and then I don't know how you say this. Why? I don't even want to know how you say this. Anyway, it's a hair and body mist. This smelled delectable, and I want to be that girl who like either gets out of a shower or like maybe even at the gym or somewhere where like you just like, she like walks by and you like can smell her hair. That sounds really weird, but it's like a thing I've always had when I was younger. Like these girls would have like really nice smelling hair. So I thought I could try this to like spray on my hair like maybe after I get out of the shower and comb it through, you know? We'll see, but it's for the body too, and it smells literally like you were just at the beach. So that's nice. That's a good smell. And then I also just did a little bit of a restock of Glossier. I got the Stretch Balm Concealer, which I really like. I haven't had this in a really long time, so I'm excited to try it again. I was using this back in college and I really liked it. So then I know they also semi-recently just came out with their Stretch Foundation as well. So I'm also trying out the foundation, which I haven't used in I've never used. So we'll see if it's nice. I'm in the midst of trying out new foundations, seeing which ones I like. Clearly nothing on my face right now. We're just raw dogging it this Monday morning. And then I got my Boy Brow in blonde because I'm pale. And they also gave me a milk jelly cleanser as well as a little like free gift. And so I thought that was cute. That was a cute little purchase. So that's my little haul. And we'll show the cute Glossier stickers as well. Maybe I'll do them, put one of these in the back of my Kindle. But yeah, that's my little haul. Excited about it. Hopefully I'm gonna do some more reading today after, not even hope, I have to do more reading. I'm so behind on my schedule of finishing Onyx Storm. It's kind of crazy. I just kind of actually haven't had enough time to just sit down uninterrupted. I've only had like 20-minute bursts, so that hasn't really been enough time to fully like immerse myself in the book and just sit down and just read through it. So I'm hoping tonight I can just level out some time to ensure that I'm gonna finish this book, because I need to, because I'm lagging behind. But that was my little schedule, that was my little update. When you're so excited I did this. Got my shelving unit. Gotta organize the office as well today and enjoy my good smelling things and my new shoes, and that's fun. So check back in later. Okay, I literally only have a little bit of time before I have to go into my next meeting. But as you just saw, I just finished Onyx Storm. And I don't know what to think about it. This is going to be the section that I'm going to say is going to have some spoilers in it. So I'm going to leave it up here. I'm going to say spoilers. Big words. Stop watching this or move forward a little bit when you have it. Maybe I'll put the time here while I stop talking about it. I don't know. Something. Spoilers. Okay, ready? And I don't know how to feel about that ending. I don't know how to feel about any of these books. I don't know. I'm not in love with the ending. I'm kind of upset with it. Obviously, this is the third book in the series, so she's leaving us on yet another cliffhanger. All of her books have ended on kind of a cliffhanger, kind of in the middle of action. So I guess that's what we expect of her. But I feel like even with like other series I read, it's been a little bit more tied together. I don't know. This book took me way longer than I thought I was to read this book. So that's why I'm kind of upset by it, that it took me so long. And I'm still trying to gather my thoughts, I feel like. So this just might be my quick thoughts, and then I might come back and talk again in real time. But yeah, like the last like 100 pages, like so much happens of like finding out Violet's second signet. She's a dream walker, the Venon's attack, the Irids come, and then Adriana leaves. And then you're just kind of like, okay. And then they're fighting. Basically, it's just like fighting and like people doing it. And even like the fighting scenes and the magic scenes, I'm reading them. And as I'm reading them, I'm still like, what am I reading? I'm still kind of like, what's actually going on? I have no idea how anyone just got hurt, how this person just died, how like, I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess we're just going through this. And then, yes, maybe the end scene was supposed to not make any sense at all. I guess not. But I'm just kind of like, what the heck? So, I mean, so yes, the end scene of like her basically killing this evil woman, which I don't even want to attempt to say her name. I don't even want to attempt to say her name. What is her name? Theopanane? I don't fucking know her. I don't know what her name is. Anyway, the bad lady in this book, Violet kills her, and then the next scene we basically, she's waking up, she doesn't know what's going on, and then everyone's like freaking out around her, and they're saying that like Xaden is gone, but like maybe he like took something, or everyone's like upset with him, and then she's like, what's going on? And then she has a fucking ring on her finger, and it's like the stones from Xaden, and it's Xaden's like, don't follow me, it's yours now. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And then Imogen has like wiped her memory, and it's like, well, you told me to do this. And I'm just kind of like, what is that? Nothing is answered with Xaden being a Venom, which I thought, like, you can't end the previous book of Xaden becoming Venom and then not basically have any resolve to that in this book. I mean, I get it. This series is going to be a many book series, so I think she's probably dragging some plot points out into further books. But then I'm like, why make that a major plot point in the second book to end on, and we not hash it out more in here? And then the end scene too of like all these people, these guys, brothers, sages. I'm literally like, I don't know. I'm not as like in depth into this world as I like could be. It's just like I'm not as like in tune and like know the magical system and know everyone's names. There's also so many names, dragon names, people's names, and it's hard to keep track of who's who, and I think that's the really hard part. Like, I just kind of compare this to Ekatar in that world, but I just feel like that world is so much more easier to grasp in the magic system and the people. Like, there's not that many people in it, but I think that helps when you're a world like this. I don't know. I think I'm gonna kind of sit with my thoughts a little bit more and come back and have a full discussion about it. But I did have a comment in my head as soon as I finished that I was like, I'm very much excited to start reading Brandon Sanderson, because I feel like his magic system and world building and knowing people, even though I think he has a lot of names and stuff with his world, I think he does. It's just, there's a reason why his books are so big, but that's because he does a really good job of kind of explaining the magic system more and the world building, because that's what I feel like is lacking a lot in these books, and that what frustrates me a little bit and why I do feel so lost. However, I feel like this book definitely had the most fantasy-esque of it. Like, I don't really remember what happened at all in Iron and Flame, to be honest with you. And this one just felt more like reading a fantasy book. It did have the romance in it, but it wasn't as, romance heavy. And, it had kind of like a quest thing. And I liked that aspect of it a lot, which kept me intrigued more the whole time. But yeah, I think I have some problems, and I just feel unsettled after finishing the ending, and I think that's the worst part. So, okay, I'm gonna come with that. I have to go into my meeting now, but we'll talk more about this again. Okay, I've kind of collected my thoughts. It's the next day. I took a full night to think about what I want to say, collect my thoughts, and spend a good amount of time on TikTok scrolling through all the memes, all the theories of this ending. And honestly, after doing that, I feel a lot better about the ending of this book, which surprised both of us. I was kind of sad at the ending of this book and how it ended, and just kind of being like, what do you mean she doesn't remember anything? And just kind of confused, but obviously everyone else gets it, so that's the tease. Let's talk about it a little bit. Again, I'm going to talk about spoilers about the ending of it, because I feel like that's the only way to really wrap up my thoughts. That's a lie. I feel like it's not, but I want to talk about my thoughts about the end of this book, so that's what we're going to do, and talk about it. So again, spoilers. Give me a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's get into it. So basically, kind of crazy that they're married. A lot of people online, and what is kind of making sense to me now throughout this too, is I feel like Xaden was planning this, probably with Erok. I don't know how you say his name. I mispronounce every single person in this book, so I just want you to know that. I feel like they were scheming about this plan for a really, really long time. Probably like months before, especially since like when they had to go to like, was it like Dune? Oh no, I don't know. They had to go somewhere, and basically Violet had to be like Xaden's consort, and I feel like that was kind of like little thing like, yep. So that's gonna be a thing later. Super upset we didn't get to see the wedding. I hope we get to see the wedding in the 4th book. Hope we get to have that again. I think basically I'm thinking Xaden had this whole plan and kind of filled Violet in at the very end and was like, hey, like, I have to go away. Basically everyone knows I'm Denon now, and I don't know what I'm going to turn, but I need to not be here. And then basically, like, because he had to go away, Erok might be with him because he had to go away. Garrick and Bodhi are going with him, I think. I don't know. So anyway, Trenador needs an heir, and who's that leader now? Violet. So I think this took a very interesting plot twist, turn of events that makes me super excited. And I'm saying this too, I feel like I get a lot of mixed reviews, what I was saying before, but this is the most fantasy plot heavy book of the 4th Wing series, and that's why I think I enjoy it more. I got super excited going online and thinking about all the theories and just seeing all these things, and it's making more of like a fantasy book. This is still romantasy to me, because their romance and their love is still a huge plot point. So I think this still falls under a romantasy. I don't think you can compare this series to like a Brandon Sanderson, a Robin Hobb. Those are high fantasy. This isn't necessarily touching on that, but it's still a fantasy novel, and I'm seeing now how these plot points are turning and everything, and I think the next book's definitely going to go into great detail about everything, I hope. hope and pray. I definitely will be continuing on with the series. I think they're also just like fun reads, and I think though my critiques though of this series, of this book, is it is very complicated. There are a lot of places, dragons, and people to keep track of, and that takes a lot from the story and immersing yourself in the story. Also the fact that this book took place in a lot of the isles, you know, that are outside of the continent. And tell me why this map has no islands on them. So I kept looking back to back being like, where the hell are they? And I didn't know because there's no islands on this. So that's like a little thing to add maybe, to help everyone out. And yeah, lastly, I don't even know what else really there is to say about it. But still had a good time. Still going to continue on. What else am I saying? Yes, plot points with Violet now being the future queen, and there's like so many things. Her also being a dreamwalker. I think that's going to come in. Oh, Eric. How the hell ever you say his name. Also him, basically, there's a name for it, but I'm forgetting this at this moment because this is an awful review of this book, and I hope you're still watching. That he can like predict the future, or not predict the future, but can see the future, and so that's why he literally like knew all of this was going to go down and gave Violet the knife that was going to kill the bad woman, and everyone's like, oh, so like he literally could see this happening, but it's like he can't tell anyone that that's happening because he can't, because he doesn't want to reveal his signet. So that will be interesting to toss around too, but I hope Riddick is in the next book a lot too. He was the comedic relief. I loved every scene with them. The scene where they basically poison Xaden's mom and her like new like family or whatever. It was a great scenes. I think that was really entertaining. And Riddick basically like being upset that he has to sew when he almost gets like stabbed in the stomach by the chef and just like punches the crap out of the chef. Just like scenes like that, or him like saying like, hey, like, yeah, good job, and the dragon's like, oh, and he's like, oh, good job from afar. Like, just like little things like that were really entertaining to me, and I feel like he's had more light in this book, and I hope we get to see more of him and maybe more plot lines with him involved. So I can see where this is going, and I can also see that this is such a long series. Like, she's already slated like so many books that not everything can be resolved in these books, because she has to kind of like really stretch it out. So, and that's the other thing too, another note, was just the fact that we ended Iron Flame on Xaden turning Venom, and then that not really getting any resolve in this book. Like, obviously it was like, we're gonna find a cure. Oh, there's no cure. Oh, he's how many days now since he, you know, has had it under control and he's not gonna turn, and all this stuff like that. I don't know, I think just ending the last book on that major cliffhanger, I wish that would have been explored more. Something maybe more would have happened to that, but obviously I think she kept it running through the whole time to set up this book's cliffhanger with him leaving because he can't be around people because people are gonna know he's Venom, and then having to wipe Violet's mind because she doesn't, you know, there's a lot of information that was just spewed, and she probably doesn't want anyone to hold that against her. So yeah, so there's a lot. I think I'm still processing, but I kind of wanted to just end this video of me reading it, finding it out, and everything. It's a fun series. I don't think anyone should take it too seriously into the fantasy realm. I think it's just a good time. And I don't think it's for everyone. And I think these books are definitely going to get more on the fantasy plot heavy lines. So if you're not into that, maybe don't, but I would say these books are good for romantasy girlies, because Xalet, is that their character name? Xaden and Violet have a very strong and very prevalent love story in these books, and there are a lot of sex scenes throughout the books. It's not like it doesn't shy away from any of that stuff in any sense of maybe being like a fantasy, and they don't really like touch on the relationship part of it much, but this series definitely does. So I think both people can enjoy it. I think fantasy people can enjoy it, romantic people can enjoy it, anyone can really enjoy it, but I think you just have to know that going into it to enjoy it. So with that in mind, I think I'm giving this around 3.75 stars, 4 stars. I think more like 3.75. I enjoyed it, took me a while, a lot of loose plot holes, I was confused for half of it, but excited to see where this goes because I think this set up a lot of very interesting plot lines for the next book and the next books in the series. So that's what I'm going to continue on, and that's what I'm going to keep reading for. And it's also a huge fandom. People go obsessed with these books, and it's fun to be a part of that series as well. And so that's why. Also, this Target edition photos, I've said it again, very disappointed in you, but the rest of it is gorgeous. So with that being said, so that's kind of my little reading vlog of reading Onyx Storm. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hope to see you guys soon in my next video. Okay.